Thank you for tuning in and welcome back, team. With real estate investing, it can be super exciting and you hear of all kinds of different terms out there. Cash flow analysis, return on return, cash on return, cash on cash, net operating income, capitalization rates. OMG, there's so much to know and there's so many different things out there. So in today's episode, we're going to knock out one of those for you today called a cash flow analysis for real estate investing. It's one of the primary analyses that you'll want to know going forward so that you can better determine whether a property is right for you to purchase and rent out or not. My name is Andrew Finney, your real estate geek. If you need help finding a top agent where you live, or if you simply want to drop me a line to say hello, my contact info is below. If you haven't already done so, please go ahead and subscribe to this channel now and like this video. For reference, I upload 6 days a week. Please be sure to tap the bell icon to get notified of the very next one. Thank you. Okay, team, so let's talk about this. As we mentioned a moment ago, there's all kinds of different terms, all kinds of different analyses that you need to know, or at least ways to be aware of as a real estate investor, right? One such thing is the cash flow analysis, and it's pretty interesting because a cash flow analysis is going to actually break down your total expenses less your total income is what's called cash flow, right? So to express it accurately, cash flow is equal to the total income minus the total expenses. First, the cash flow analysis looks like it's a pretty simple calculation of the total income minus the total expenses. However, after using this equation, you'll probably quickly realize that's a little bit more complex than it looks to be or appears to be. So at the same time, hey, it's not a shame to mention, I'm going to plug out a couple of different cash flow analysis calculators in the show more description below. I have no relation with them, but they're great calculators for you to be able to use if you want to get a better idea of what it's like to actually use a cash flow analysis. So cash flow analysis for your investment is a crucial method that is used by you, the real estate investor. It's used to make a calculated decision when buying an investment property. Most successful real estate investors find it very helpful and to know this in advance, to know what they're looking at getting into a certain specific property. So there's a lot of different things out there that can be confusing. You know, you hear of capitalization rates or pro forma rates and deceptions, right? So what happens is if you're looking at it, and this normally will come from like a real estate agent or broker selling a investor property, they'll perform what's called a capitalization rate or a pro forma analysis of the property. Sometimes they're accurate, sometimes they're not quite as accurate. It doesn't mean that they're intentionally being dishonest or not sharing the full picture, but sometimes may not have all the variables to take into stock the same way that a cash flow analysis will. Such a thing would occur that if you're looking at a $100,000 property, let's just keep it simple. If you're looking at a $100,000 property and they're saying your capitalization rate is 10%, in other words, you get a 10% return year over year off of that property. Well, that's great, but did they really start breaking down the cash flow analysis on that to determine what the net operating income would look like, right? So what you want to take a look at in using a cash flow analysis is you want to know what your net operating income is, your cash on cash return, your rental income. That way you know what the actual amount of return is and you can make a good decision whether it's the right property for you to purchase. So your net operating income is your total income minus your total expenses, okay? So whenever you're looking at your net operating income being the total income minus your total expenses, then it's going to give you, the investor, an idea of how much cash flow you can realistically expect on a monthly basis. This is something where I see a lot of would-be real estate investors fail, and this is where I see them really go off course when you try to explain this to them. That's why I make these videos, is to better educate and better share this information with you so you don't make those mistakes. A lot of people, you know, they might watch a seminar, they might attend a seminar about real estate investing, get gun-ho and get fired up and ready to go, and then they lose a lot of money, and then it ends up what they thought was going to be a dream or an answer to a prayer becomes a nightmare, and it's not cool because you got to slow down and do a little bit of research first. You shouldn't have analysis paralysis by any means of getting in, jumping in, but once you have your widgets down, you have your core elements down, your real estate basic investing basics down, then you'll be ready to go ahead and begin your real estate investing career. One such critical component, of course, is this cash flow analysis. So when you're looking at your real estate investments, make sure that you know what your cash on cash return is, which is equal to your cash flow divided by your investment basis, so the amount of money that you put up. So a cash flow analysis for investment provides you, the investor, with a rate of return in the form of cash on cash return. It's a great method to determine the performance of a property and if it's going to be in line with what you're looking for. Now, just as an ideal point of view, if you're wondering, Andrew, what's the percentage rate that we should be looking for here, or what would be a goal rate here? Well, the goal rate that you would like is 8% or higher. I mean, that's the ideal number. If you get at least an 8% or higher cash on cash or cash flow analysis percent as a result of your real estate invest, it is an amazing investment, and it's one that you might want to strongly consider getting into because you know that it's right at that ideal number. So 8% or higher is that number, okay? So one other thing that I want you to consider and just kind of put in the pocket in the back of your mind is actually budgeting for property management. Now, unless you have a lot of experience or you have your own staff or you have your own team that's already ready to go, you may want to go ahead and make plans for budgeting for property management. For reference, a lot of property managers charge roughly 10% for their services. Of course, things are negotiable. You're going to find other property managers that are more expensive, less expensive, or just the same, right? But you want to include that number into your cash flow analysis for your prospective rental property if you plan on using property management. Okay, so here's what I want you to do. I want you to share your savvy tips with us about cash flow analysis and other real estate investing equations that you think we should know in the comment section below. Let's continue learning and growing together, okay? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pop up my contact information. If you want to reach out and say hi, or if you simply need help finding a top agent where you live, please let me know. Always happy to help. Now, I'm going to ask you to do 3 things. Number 1, please subscribe to this channel. Number 2, please like this video. Number 3, please share this video around with someone you know is going to be a help, because just like you, I'm sure that there's other people you know, maybe just one, that wants to know what a cash flow analysis is really about. Please share it with them. And between now and next time, I'm wishing you and yours a lifetime full of love, wealth, abundance, and happiness. Thank you for watching today, team, and enjoy an amazing day.